Hey guys, welcome back. Robert Warshak here, and this is part 3 of our full set review of Saviors of Uldum. There's a lot of spicy cards that we've covered, and a lot of good stuff that seems to be on the horizon, a lot of powerful decks that are probably going to get brought up with this. In this particular part, we're going to be covering the Warrior, or Warlock Warrior, and then all of the neutral cards. Again, if you missed part 2 and part 1, they should be released as this is a part 3. And yeah, let's get into the card review, guys, and enjoy. Supreme Archaeology. 1 mana quest, draw 20 cards, reward Tome of the Origination. I actually said that. Hero power, draw a card, it costs 0. It all depends on the mood. And you know what? Here at the shack, it doesn't matter what mood you're in. We got the pizza you need to succeed. You know what I'm saying? You want some thin crust? No problem. You want stuffed cheese crust? No problem. You don't even want pizza? No problem. We got drinks. You don't want to drink? No problem. We got cheese bread. You don't want cheese bread? You know what? Enjoy the high quality content. We got it all. All right, anyway. I mean, there's plot twist Warlock, but I think this quest is going to take too long. Like, it's cool, and when it works, it's going to be crazy. But I think, like, if you're playing this deck against any, like, tier 1, tier 2 deck, it's just going to beat you. Before you pull this off, you could just run the Cable Rat for 1 more mana. You get a 1 mana, or you get 2 mana. 2 mana 1/1, and then you Battle Cry. You get a lackey, but I guess you don't pick the lackey. So, I mean, it's not. This is not a bad card, and it'll probably see play. So this will probably see play. Plus the Discover, you pick the one you need. So this is probably pretty good. Ooh, Plague of Flames. I haven't seen this card. 1 mana, destroy all of your minions. Holy shit. For each one you destroy... destroy a random enemy minion. Oh. Does Warlock have any cards that when you destroy them, it does things for, like... We'll have to see, but, like, if there's cards that you can combo with this, like bombs, for example, or cards that say if you destroy this yourself, do something, it's pretty good, right? I mean, this isn't a bad card, anyway. 2 mana, 2/1, Battle Cry, discard your highest cost card, Death Rattle, add 2 copies of your hand. This is a wild card. This is a wild card. Discard Gul'dan. Get 2 Guldans. Yeah, this is a wild card. This is discard lock status right here. This is a really nice discard card. I don't think this is so much a standard card, but wild, this card's insane. 3 mana, 4 or 5. Whenever this attacks, deal 3 damage to your hero. Just don't attack with it, forehead. I mean, the stats are good, but dealing 3 damage to your own hero is kind of sad. But if you turn this on the flip side, right? If you're attacking something and you're killing it, and that minion were to have attacked your face anyway, you would have taken that damage regardless, right? So you're killing a minion, you're taking the damage it would have killed, but you still have a minion in play. So, as not cool as this card looks, it's not as bad as it looks. Maybe there's some synergies with dealing damage to your hero. 3 mana, 3/3. Battle Cry, destroy a friendly lackey. Summon a 5/5 demon. Alright, so this card is a lot better now because we have this card. So Evil Recruiter is actually pretty solid now. Cool. Yeah, it's a good card. 4 mana, Deceased Vulture. Man, this thing's fucking scary. 3 mana, or 4 mana, 3/5 Beast. After your hero takes damage on your turn, summon a random 3-cost minion. Well, long behold, did you know we had this card that says whenever this attacks, deal 3 damage to your hero. So we already found, wow, the connections we're making are insane. Who would have thought that the Thrasher could combo well with the 4-drop minion? You could play this, hold on. So chat, listen to this. You play this 3-drop minion, right? And then on turn 4, you play this 4-drop minion, and then you attack with your 3-drop minion, and you take damage, and then you summon a random 3-cost minion. Did you even think about the possibilities here? Rob, shut the fuck up. Thanks, chat. 4 mana, Embalming, destroy a minion, shuffle 3 worthless imps into your deck. A worthless imp is a 1-mana 1/1 demon. I mean, putting worthless imps into your deck is bad, but we have life tap, so it's less bad. We have to draw them in the first place, and we get to kill a minion. But everything has reborn, so like just killing a simple minion really isn't as big of a deal anymore because everything has reborn anyway. So this doesn't really look that powerful. Ooh, 5 mana 4/4, the Dark Pharaoh. Battle cry for the rest of the game. Your lackeys are 4/4. Oh, holy moly! For the rest of the game? Wow. I didn't realize Warlock was such a big lackey fan. So now, like, but now this card is insane. The Sinister deal. So yeah, this lackey Warlock, boys. And then we have the Rift Cleaver, 6 mana, 6/5 demon. Battle cry, destroy a minion. Your hero takes damage equal to its health. I actually think that's really good because you're playing a 6 mana 7/5 is pretty big, right? That's pretty decently statted minion. So I mean, if it was a 5/7, it'd be even crazier. If it was a 6/6, I would say it would be like slightly better. But a 7/5 needs to be dealt with. If not, they're going to lose in a couple turns. And the fact that you, like, destroy a minion, it can be any minion, including your minions. So, you know, why not just sometimes kill your own minions to assert dominance? But the fact that, like, for example, if you're going to kill a minion and you don't have a way to kill that minion anyway, and then that minion were to, like, the same point I brought up with the previous 3 mana 4/5 card is if the minion's going to attack you, the following turn anyway, if you don't have removal, like you're taking the damage anyway, and you're just going ahead and killing the minion. So I rate this card actually being really good. I think this replaces Siphon Soul. I think this most assuredly replaces Siphon Soul in almost every deck. Or maybe you play 2 Cleavers and 1 Siphon, but this is much better than Siphon Soul. All right, let's take a look at this warrior card. 1 mana into the fray. Give all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. Obviously, if this hits more than 1 minion, it's pretty sharp, right? It's a card that's like really bad in the later stages of the game, especially for warrior, because if you're playing some sort of taunt warrior deck, you're going to most likely be playing minions throughout the game. So like if this is a terrible top deck in the later stages of the game, unless you have cards like Omega Assembly, but for taunts, because Omega Assembly, as we know, generates 3 mechs if you have 10 mana. So if you've got cards like that, but for taunt minions, then you can combo that with Into the Fray in the later stages of the game to be able to give more than 1 to 2 taunt minions value. So depending on what we see when we further go along with these warrior cards, Into the Fray is either going to get worse or not. But I mean, this is it's obviously a very powerful ability, but depending on how many taunts it hits, we'll see. But off the bat, it does not look too shabby. 1 mana quest is the warrior. Attack 5 times with your hero, and your reward is a core. The core itself says it's a 2 mana, summon a 4/3 golem after your hero attacks. Refresh this. So as we know, warriors have a shit ton of weapons. A lot of those weapons have the ability to attack multiple different times, or attack multiple different times over the course of multiple different turns because they have a high durability. And summoning a 4/3 golem every time you attack is very, very high value. So the problem here is that if we're going to be changing our hero power into something that generates minions, warriors need armor, because if they're attacking with their weapons to kill minions, we're taking damage. And if we can't gain armor to minimize the damage that we're taking, because we don't have that hero any power anymore, we could in fact end up killing ourselves through attacking with the weapon. So as powerful as this ability looks, there are downsides to it. Attack 5 times with your hero is it's kind of a lot. It's going to take at least 5 turns to have this trigger. So the earliest you're going to be able to get this off is turn 6 or 7. If you play like basically a weapon every turn, those weapons have multiple durabilities. We'll have to see more cards, but this does look not bad. And again, the problem is I think Dr. Boom is just better. So until Dr. Boom, the Mad Genius, like the 7 mana one that's out right now, until that rotates, I don't think this will see play. I think this is going to be a sleeper card that when stuff starts to rotate out, this will be a card that sees play. And I think that's going to be, a theme for a lot of these quest cards that when we lose out on like cards like Hagatha, you know, we lose out on stuff like Vul'Jin for the hunter guy, and we lose out on Dr. Boom for the warrior, those quests will be they'll probably shine brighter, because these are better than the average hero power, but they're not better than the current Death Knights or heroes that are out currently. 2 mana 2/2 taunt, battlecry, discover a taunt minion. Again, not only does this card have taunt, the fact that you get to discover a taunt minion is pretty powerful. Stats are pretty good. This is a good card. Live Wire Lance, 3 mana 2/2. After your hero attacks, add a lackey to your hand. It's good. 3 mana 3/3 battlecry, choose a damage-friendly minion, summon a copy of it. Ooh, that's pretty usey. But this reminds me a lot of the priest card that we covered earlier. That, you know, you destroy a minion and then you resummon it with full health. This is very similar to that, where you wouldn't really be playing this card on turn 3 unless you're playing against maybe an aggressive style deck where you just need to tempo out cards. The 3 mana 3/3 isn't bad, but ideally you'd want to combo this later on in the game when you have like a bigger damaged minion, and maybe like you have a taunt minion, you know, you've dealt 1 damage to it with like, you know, the lackey card, you know, deal 1 damage to it. If it survives, generate a lackey, and then you combo that with this card and you're able to replicate maybe a big taunt minion that you have. And the reason it's going to be a big, thick taunt minion is because you've Into the Frayed that taunt minion with this panda that looks... You know what? I'm not going to lie. They should have given this panda so much more armor. They should have give all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. They should have stacked this panda out of his mind with like armor. You know what I mean? Just make it like a meme picture of like this like, they probably should have like put like a little panda or like a little car, like a little dude, and then just had like piles and piles of armor on him. I don't know. I think that would have been fucking hilarious. 4 mana 3/2 Rush Reborn. As we know, Rush is an insanely good mechanic at clearing the board, and then Reborn is going to be really good with this card. I think we've been over this before. So you play this on turn 4, you attack into something, it dies, it reborns itself, you can now rush it into something else. So you can basically kill 2 minions with this that have less than 3 health, or yeah, less than 3 HP with this one card. So this is actually a really good card for Warrior. 5 mana, Plague of Wrath. Destroy all damaged minions. Do I think this replaces Brawl? Probably not. Because this card has a requirement. Brawl has no requirement. You play Brawl, Brawl does Brawl things. You play this card, you know, there is a requirement. The minions have to be damaged, right? So this requires kind of like multiple, not even multiple, just a single stage. So this is a good card. I mean, if Control Warrior is a thing, I can see it. I can see a Warrior deck playing like 1 Plague, 2 Brawls. But I still think Brawl is better, in my opinion. I think Brawl. I mean, unless like there's a lot of like deal ones, like, and then you can remove Brawl and then play just 2 Plagues. You know what I mean? It depends how much like deal ones and deal damage things there are. And again, we'll keep scrolling through these Warrior cards, and if something changes my mind, I'll go back to it. I'm pretty sure this is an armadillo with a laser on its back and rockets on its side. I'm not gonna lie, this armadillo is fucking huge, because that is a goblin down here, and that's like as big as this guy's like small toenail, and this is a giant pyramid behind him, and he's like at least 60% of the height of the giant pyramid with the laser on his back. And he's at full force, and this is a pretty big laser, and he has rockets strapped, which means this guy's a pretty big brute. That means he works out. 6 mana 4/6 beast, taunt. At the end of your turn, give all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. That's UC. That guy drinks his UC juice. Yeah, if you're playing any sort of taunt deck, you just play this guy, right? Like, that guy is fucking crazy. I mean, he's gonna be a 6/9 if you give him the 1 mana card. And then he gives everything 2/2. This guy is crazy. This is like the best armadillo I think I've ever seen. 6 mana 6/7 Armor Goon. Armored Goon. Whenever your hero attacks, gain 5 armor. So this kind of corresponds to exactly what I was talking about earlier, that if you're going to change your hero power to something that doesn't gain armor, and then you're attacking with this weapon, you have no way to hero power armor back up, But if you play the Armored Goon, every time you attack with your hero, you're going to be able to gain the armor that you would have had if you wouldn't have changed the hero power in the first place. So this kind of goes right back to one of the first issues I, like, you know, playing devil's advocate with the quest. So, I mean, as, like, you know, he looks a little underwhelming at first, but I think this is actually a pretty solid card because it doesn't essentially, like, solve the issue, but it's a small chink in the chain of being able to, you know, generate some armor once you're attacking with that weapon. So, pretty good. And he's a common, so it's not like, you know what I mean? Not a lot to craft. So if he ends up being bad, it's not like you spend a lot of gold doing it. 8 mana, 3/6 taunt battle cry. Summon a copy of this minion. Hello, Serenite Chain Gang. And it's a taunt. So let's say we give this guy +2/+2, worst case, right? He's going to be a 5/8. That's going to summon another 5/8 for 8 mana. So you're going to get a 10/16 taunt in stats. That's a mech. That's a good card. Tomb Warden. You go, girl. Or dude. Whatever you are. Mummy. Guy. Dude. Sauce. Homie. G-Dog. We got a lot of neutrals. We know neutrals most of the time suck. So if a card sucks, I'm just gonna kind of go over it. I'm not going to give some long explanation like we've done some previously, because I'm not going to cover a card that I don't really find interesting in lieu of your time and my time. 1 mana, 1/1 Death Rattle. I have a random 1 cost minion to your hand. It's going to be good in aggro decks. Pretty good zoo card. Not bad. It's a good card that gets generated off other 1 mana cards. You know what I mean? It's not a bad card. This is a 1 mana card that doesn't suck. 1 mana, 1/2 Battlecry. Give a friendly minion +2 health. Again, that's actually not bad. That's really not bad at all. Beaming Sidekick. I mean, she just looks so joyful. She's ready to explore. And she's giving her teammates help and health. And that's really all you can ask from a teammate. Is when your teammate needs help and they say, "Hey Rob, you stole all the fucking food. There's no Taco Bell left. You ate all of the cheese and the alcohol has been diminished." The Beaming Side Chick comes in here and says, "I got you." She gives you 2 more drinks. 1 mana, 1/1 Mogugan Daikon Cultist. Battle Cry. If your board is full of Mongugan Gai Dan Dun Cultist, sacrifice them all and summon Highkeeper Ra. Alright, this guy better be the bee's fucking knees. 10 mana, 20/20. Alright, he looks like the bee's fucking knees. At the end of your turn, deal 20 damage to all enemies. This guy is the fucking bee's knees. Holy shit, this is Jesus. This guy, he is Jesus. He's Jesus that's gone to the gym and injected himself straight in the fucking forehead with steroids. 1 mana, 1/1 Murloc Reborn. I mean, it's a good Murloc card. Like, any Murloc deck will play that. 2 mana, 2/3. After you discover a card, reduce its cost by 1. Garbage. 2 mana. Oh, I saw this card today. 2 mana, 3/2 Elemental Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, wish for the perfect card. So, for those of you unfamiliar with what the fuck this card means, basically when you play this card, Hearthstone has guaranteed us that their dev team has worked day and night to be able to generate the perfect card for the situation that you are currently in. So, for example, if it's turn for, let's say, 6 or 7, you play this card and your opponent's board is full. It's going to give you the option of multiple AoE spells or, you know, board removal spells. If you play this on turn 2 and your opponent has no cards on the board, it's probably going to give you some sort of ramp. It's going to give you some draw, or it's going to give you value. If you're playing this card on turn 10 and you don't need ramp and you don't need more cards, it's going to give you something that does, like, you're 2 points off lethal. It's going to give you a lethal card. You know what I mean? It's going to give you the best card for the situation. You discover it, so you get to pick one of 3. So, I really like this card. I think this card is really fucking cool. And this card is going to fuck me over really bad, because this looks like a guy that makes really bad deals with me. Everybody else, definitely going to shit on me with this card. But this is a cool card. I like this card a lot. 2 mana, 2/3 Battlecry. If you control a quest, any quest, draw a card. I believe any quest deck will be playing this card. Period. End of story. 2 mana, 2/6. Holy shit, that's a lot of health. Battle Cry, deal 3 damage to this minion. Alright, he's not as good. Obviously, maybe some sort of heal priest. You know what I mean? Because he has taunt, you heal him up, you get to live longer. Probably going to be found in priest. Hey, little sneaky snakes. 2 mana, 0/3 serpent egg, death rattle, summon a 3/4 sea serpent. Sea serpent looks like, ooh, looks pretty deadly. Again, maybe found in priest. Has death rattle. It's an early game card. You play this, you kill it with the 3 mana card. You resurrect this with 1 HP, or resurrect this with 3, and you actually get a 3/4 serpent. So maybe priest, or rogue. 2 mana, 3/2 Murloc, Battlecry, add a random Murloc to each player's hand. Ooh, not really a fan. I don't like giving my opponent cards, to be honest. Like, if it was like a 2 mana, 2/2 Murloc, add a random Murloc to your hand, I'd be more interested. But this does not interest me. I don't think this card is good. 2 mana, 2/4. Didn't they have a camel before that was like this? And it summoned a 1 mana card from each player's deck onto the battlefield, and it was a hunter card. Anyway, at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to another random friendly minion. Why would you want to do that, spitting camel, you little jerk face? He even looks like a jerk face. That's a face of a jerk face. Like, that is totally a jerk face. If you could jerk... Never mind. I'm not saying that. 2 mana, 2/1 death rattle, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. It's actually not a bad death rattle. 2 mana, deal 3 damage, worst case. So it's a frostbolt to your opponent. Maybe some form of aggro decks will play this. 2 mana, 1/2, reborn, has +2 attack while damaged. So when it gets reborn, it's a 3/1. That jerk face has the face of a jerk. Oh. The wise words of the shack. I see this being a zoo card. It's a zoo or aggro. I mean, that's where I see this card. I mean, a 2 mana 3/1 that gets, you know, it can be buffed, and then when it dies, it comes back. Pretty annoying. The thing is, the priest card that we went over earlier that does 1 damage to everything, it's going to be good against all these reborn cards. So that priest card's actually probably going to see a lot of play if reborn is very popular. 2 mana, 2/3, Battlecry, restore adjacent minions' health to full. Cowabunga, dude. So if you play this in priest, and you've got like the damage things, and then you play this counts as a heal, right? For the quest. So if this counts as a heal for the priest shit, this card will be played in like every priest deck that runs that quest, right? So this card is powerful. 2 mana, 3/2 elemental, give all enemy minions -2 attack this turn. Ooh. It's only this turn. It's not till next turn. If it was till next turn, I would say he's pretty good. If it's just 1 turn, he's not the best, but he's a 2 mana, 3/2. You can't really argue with that. So this is a really good arena card. I don't think this is necessarily like a good standard, like, you know what I mean? It's not going to see constructive play, but this is good arena. 2 mana, 2/1 Battlecry, summon a 1/1 Locust Rush, Token Druid, any sort of aggro based deck again. It's 1 minion that turns into 2, and then half of it has Rush. So 2 mana, 2/2 Lifesteal Demon. Arena card. Again, guys, I'm not going to cover cards that really there's not a lot to talk about. Like, there's not a lot to talk about here. 3 mana, 3/2 Reborn. Arena. 3 mana, 2/3 Battlecry, discover a spell, or pick a mystery choice. What the fuck? Battlecry, discover a spell, or pick a mystery choice. What the fuck's a mystery choice? Add a random spell to your hand. The flavor text. A spell could be a spell, but their mystery choice could be anything, even a spell. Oh man. Why wouldn't you just do discovery? Because the mystery choice is add a random spell to your hand, like could be anything. But think about the discover. It could be anything. You know what I mean? So like could be anything. 3 mana, 5/4 Reborn. Your opponent's cards cost 1 less. I'd rather not. 3 mana, 3/3 Battlecry. Swap the top card of your deck with your opponent's. Maybe we'll try to do something with this. I feel like if there's any sort of like if we can figure out a card that somehow allows us to know what the opponent's top card or our top card is, and we can make them draw something really bad. I don't know. We'll have to see. But this is, you wouldn't play this as like a combo. Like you'd be like, oh, you know, combo disruption. But like it's too randomized. So like if there's another card that we go over that like makes this card viable, we'll see. 3 mana, 2/3 taunt. Death Rattle, add 2/1/1 scarabs with taunt to your hand. Marina. 3 mana, 3/4. Whenever you play a minion, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1. I mean, a 3 mana, 3/4 is not bad. Stats are there. This card is not bad in stats, and his ability is actually pretty good. So this card, maybe not, definitely arena, and it may see Hinge play in some decks, but probably not. 3 mana, 2/2, Battlecry, discover a 4-cost card. So this card probably isn't that bad. Golden Scarab is actually probably pretty good. Anything that just discovers a set card and in like its mana cost is relatively the same as its HP and attack, ends up being pretty good. Previously, from what we've seen in the past, cards like this are pretty good. Desert Hare. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this hare. Battlecry, summon 2. Oh my gosh, it makes more hares. So for just the low price of 3 mana, you get to summon 3 rabbits. We're feasting tonight, boys. Rob, are you going to eat the hares? Absolutely not. 4 mana, 2/5, Taunt Reborn. By the way, if none of you have played World of Warcraft, sorry you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But for those of you who have played World of Warcraft and you're back around with Lich King, era was around, Ice Crown Citadel, that raid was so much fun. That was when I was really raiding deep. We were one of the first guilds on the server to do heroic Lich King. That was yummy stuff. I was like top 10 geared elemental shaman on server. It's fucking delicious. By the way, the name of our guild was called Delicious Cake. Fucking delicious, dude. 4 mana, 6/5. At the start of your turn, this has a 50% chance to fall asleep. Obviously not good. 4 mana, 3/10, taunt. At the start of your turn, shuffle this in your deck. So I've actually seen this card. I saw this card on Twitter 2 days ago, and as we know, there's nothing more I love than dreaming and sleeping and taking showers and thinking of Hearthstone cards. And at first, I was like, what the fuck could this card possibly be used for? Why would I want this in my deck? And then I was thinking a little bit more. And then I was thinking Warrior, because I always play Warrior and I love Warrior. And then I was thinking, we got Control Warrior. And this card, basically, you never fatigue. Because at the start of your turn, shuffle this into your deck. And then you would either draw this card or you'll draw this card the following turn. So basically, you know what you're going to draw. Which then converts to the card that we went previously shuffle this into your deck. Never mind. Well, if it's the only card in your deck, you know you're going to draw this next, basically, is what I'm saying. And you keep playing this 4 mana 3/10, which is a pretty hefty minion that your opponent has to attack into. So, I mean, maybe this will see play in some sort of wild fatigue warrior. That's what was coming to mind. Oh man, is she whipping this man? Oh, let's not focus on that. 4 mana, 4/4, Battlecry, discover a friendly minion that died this game, shuffle it into your deck. I mean, it seems okay. The 1 mana, 1/1 where you need 7 of them, this is a way that you can generate another one back, and because it's a Battlecry, you can combo this with the Shark, and you can actually put 2 more of them in your deck. So remember that 1 mana, 1/1 that if we have 7, it turns into Jesus? 5 mana, 4/2, Stealth Reborn, Wasteland Assassin. Didn't Dexter review this card? Wasn't this Dexter's card? It's okay. I mean, arena. 5 mana, 4/5. Your taunt minions have +2 attack. But this doesn't have taunt himself. If this card was a 5 mana, 4/4 with taunt, this would see play. Because this doesn't have taunt, this card will not see play. 5 mana, 3/3 taunt, Battlecry, double this minion's health. Dex fan here. Oh, nice. Dr. saying, you got great taste, bud. He'd be one of the guys I would more than welcome, night out on the bar with, grab a beer with. So I mean, if you give this guy +2/+2, right, with the warrior stuff, he turns into a 5/10, a 5 mana 5/10 with taunt. You have to buff this card. And the thing is, the armadillo is 6 mana, right? So you can't, it's not like you curve into this guy after the armadillo. You'd have to play the armadillo, still have this guy in your hand, then play this guy after the armadillo. So he may not be as good as he looks. Right now he looks good, but obviously curve wise he doesn't look as juicy as he seems. I already feel so annoyed with Taunt Warrior. Don't worry. You want to see how you beat Taunt Warrior? I will give you +1 if you name the card that I have up on the side of the screen right now. Yo, there it is. Cypher, the Black Knight, baby. Of course you can't see it. That's the whole point. You had to guess the card. 6 mana, 4/5 battle cry. Destroy an enemy minion with taunt. This is the warrior killer. He hides in the shadow. He lurks on his horse. And he comes in with a swift and powerful sword that reaps the rewards of being able to destroy a singular taunt minion on your opponent's side of the board. 5 mana, 8/8 mech. After your opponent plays a minion, give it reborn. Yeah, kind of gross. 5 mana, 0/5. Desert Obelisk. If you control 3 of these at the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. Which means if you need 3 of these in order for its ability to trigger, each one should basically say the same thing. Which means at the end of your turn, you're going to do 5 damage for each obelisk you have, right? And if you have 3 obelisks, you do 15 damage. And if you have 7 obelisks, you do 35 damage. So basically, you could kill your opponent in a singular turn if you have 7 obelisks available. 6 mana, 3/4 taunt, reborn, death rattle, restore 3 health to your hero. Like, right? This doesn't make me really quake in my boots. 6 mana, 5/5 death rattle. Each player summons the lowest cost minion from their hand. I guess if you're playing against some sort of like combo based deck, it could disrupt that because most combo based decks do not run a lot of minions. So you're probably gonna pull one of the minions that works well with their combo. Big Paladin. What about that? So we put this in Big Paladin, and then we play Duel. Duel pulls this out. This kills the other minion that gets pulled out, right? They both potentially die, and then you pull a minion out from your hand. 7 mana, 7/7. 7 mana, 7/5. Rob, count to 5. No, it's clearly a 5, not a 7. Reborn. At the end of your turn, summon a 1/1 scarab with taunts. So will this see play? Probably not. Is this card good in Arena? Yes. 7 mana, 6/6 elemental. Battlecry, gain 2. Rush, Divine Shield, Taunt, or Wind Fury. Your choice. It doesn't have Lifesteal. If it had Lifesteal in the mix of these choices, it would probably be the new Ziliax. The fact that this card does not have Lifesteal in that mix of items it has, it makes this card slightly worse. But this card will be a staple in every single elemental deck ever. And it will be probably a pretty good card to play in most mid-range to control decks. Wasteland Scorpid. 7 mana, 3/9. Poisonous. It's just one of those cards that if it gets randomly generated, it's really annoying to deal with, but this isn't going to be a main deck card at all. This is an super interesting one. The 8 mana, 8/8 Beast, Death Rattle, draw 8 cards, right? There's probably a million different decks that this could combo with. You know, the first things that I think about is like Mechathune. I think about like Mechathune and any sort of deck where you're just trying to find all of the cards quickly. So like any sort of combo deck, once you find all the pieces, you can play this. I like the artwork for this guy though. Pit Crocolisk. 8 mana, 5/6 Battlecry, deal 5 damage. It's an arena card. 9 mana, 9/6 Death Rattle, give all minions in your hand +3/+3. Arena card. 10 mana, 5/5 Battlecry. For each spell in your hand, summon a random minion of the same cost. So Mage, Warlock, Priest all have pretty expensive spells. It's more of a high rolly card. Like I don't think this is it depends. Living Monument, 10 mana, 10/10 Taunt, Arena. Colossus of the Moon, 10 mana, 10/10 Divine Shield, Reborn. And then this card's just like a big thick daddy, right? This is like literally just the biggest, thickest daddy. It's not Jesus, right? It's not the 10 mana 20/20, but he's pretty thick. Obviously going in any sort of like big deck, right? Like Duel, like yeah, any sort of like big warrior, big paladin. I mean, this card just goes into any big deck. And the fact that it has Reborn makes it like the Divine Shield, right? So it comes back and the Divine Shield procs it again. So they have to like deal 2 more. They have to deal damage to it and then deal damage to it again. So I think Mortal Coil in this expansion is going to be really good. And that new Priest card that deals 1 damage to everything is going to be really good. Anything like that deals 1 to 2 damage to stuff Well, that's going to wrap up our review. I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and I look forward to playing with all of these new cards when the expansion releases. Keep in mind that I am going away on a family trip because of graduation, so I won't be able to cover these cards right when the expansion comes out. But as soon as I come back, I will play with these cards and pump out the content for you guys as soon as I can. So keep in mind, again, I will not be able to cover the new stuff in the first about a week or two of the expansion releases. I apologize, but that's a family trip. Gotta go on it. So with that, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next episode, of course. And again, look forward to playing with all this new stuff. As always, I'm Robert Warshak, and happy whatever the hell day it is.